It's brief, but don't underestimate what the briefest glimpse of the true nature of your mind can do. It can be transformative. All right, before we begin, I'm going to need you to join my cult and send me all your money. No, don't be a dumbass. Motherfuckers should not be charging folks for showing them who they already fucking are. There is a rub, though. It's that no one can tell you what you actually are because it is beyond definition. But I can tell you what you're not.
Whoa!
You liking this guy?
He's packed a lot into.
I know, it's like bam, bam, bam.
And I gotta say, as a certified narcissist, it's challenging, but at the same time, I think he's really onto something, and making a lot of good points, and making a lot of sense. All right, Team Spiritual, James and Justin back again. We're going to do a bit of a reaction on to this new YouTuber I found. His name's Shawn Boland. And he's kind of like a straight shooter. He seems like a blue-collar, spiritual type of guy who just likes to pass on wisdom in like YouTube short videos and stuff like that. He's an interesting character. Good to have that around it for a change sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes things get a little too colorful.
And you haven't even seen this guy. I think you're going to like this. So this video is called The Quiet Mind.
Oh, hello. Are you someone who kinda wants to try this meditation shit but don't have a fucking clue how or why to even go about it? Or perhaps you're someone who does meditate but is getting no results and you're like, what the fuck, why do we even do this shit? And maybe you don't give a shit about meditating at all, but your thoughts won't shut the fuck up and you're dying for just a moment of peace. If so, I got you. I've got a trick that I'm going to show you in 2 different ways that will hopefully show you what this meditation shit is all about. Or hopefully it'll allow you to experience the still and quiet nature of your own mind by making your thoughts shut the fuck up. It's brief, but don't underestimate what the briefest glimpse of the true nature of your mind can do. It can be transformative. All right, before we begin, I'm going to need you to join my cult and send me all your money. No. Don't be a dumbass. Motherfuckers should not be charging folks for showing them who they already fucking are. There is a rub, though. It's that no one can tell you what you actually are because it is beyond definition. But I can tell you what you're not.
Whoa!
You liking this guy?
He's packed a lot into.
I know, it's like bam, bam, bam.
And I gotta say, as a certified narcissist, it's challenging, but at the same time, I think he's really onto something, and making a lot of good points, and making a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And yeah.
All right, keep it
That's
up.
what I have to say.
You're not your fucking thoughts. So let's get to it because words won't get you there. This is something behind thought that you can experience, and you may be surprised to learn that you are always experiencing your true nature. It's just that it's tied up by fucking thoughts that think they're you. Okay, here we go. Honestly ask yourself the following question and then just observe the result. I wonder what my next thought will be. Did you experience a moment of no thought? If you did, then welcome to your true nature, to the substratum of reality, primordial awareness. If it seems like no big deal, that's because it's always fucking there. Hopefully it lasted until I started saying shit again, but perhaps it was just a brief glimpse, or maybe that stubborn-ass wrinkly pink meat computer said, fuck it, I'm generating a thought immediately. It's all good though. It's all data about yourself to study and improve upon, should you be so inclined.
And I love the internet because, because in old times they would have grabbed this guy and made him be a cult leader. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't actually want to be one. I just run in this shop here or whatever. And they would have been like, no, you've got the wisdom. But with the internet, you can be any type of person you want to be. Yeah. You can have a thriving business or be a tradesman or whatever he is, and still have wisdom and share it and keep it an arm's distance from, people like me that would get overzealous and probably start following him around.
Yeah, this is my second time seeing this video. Actually try doing that thing where you ask the question, what will my next thought be?
I did
pretty interesting, eh?
Yeah, and I did get a moment of peace. And I do think that will probably vary depending on how much... well, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it would do that for everybody. But I did get, I got a glimpse of what he was talking about there.
Here's a variation you can try. Ask yourself, how do I think a thought? How'd that one go? These are questions not meant to be answered, by the way, so if you have an answer, you're not getting a fucking gold star. These are catalyst questions to briefly short-circuit the thought process so that you can simply get a glimpse of your spacious, pristine mind. Here's the deal. If you're following religious dogma, that's fine, but that consists of thought that has been introduced and adopted. If you have spiritual beliefs, cool, but realize beliefs are a daisy chain of thoughts that we arbitrarily decide are true. If you are logically trying to figure out what's called the hard problem of science, aka consciousness, then you are generating thoughts in the form of hypotheses and experiments and whatever the fuck. But all of the aforementioned paradigms remain within the realm of thought, and it's not going to expose the one thing true. Now, I'm not dissing any of it or suggesting that there aren't any benefits. What I'm saying is religious thoughts will make you religious. Spiritual thoughts make you spiritual. Scientific method will provide knowledge of material reality. Nothing wrong with any of that shit. But what I'm talking about is what all that is trying to get at, but it's constantly being thwarted by the method of getting. Thoughts really fucking want to be thunk. Meditation is the practice of noticing that you are thinking, then letting that thought dissipate, no matter how compelling it is, over and over. And eventually you will weaken the binding power of thought and reveal that lucid stillness behind mental events. Once revealed, then meditation happens at all times, because meditation...
Just, yeah.
I feel like I need to see it again because he does these so like shot style, like they're very fast.
Yeah.
Like this is a video you might have to watch a couple times.
I've heard it alluded to before. I've gotten a sense of it before. What he just said about meditation will be what happens after. Like, I think it gets reversed sometimes. Like, there's a reason for that. Why they would be like, oh, you're thinking too much, go meditate. There's a reason for that. But when you do get a taste of not being completely run by your thoughts and immersed in them, sometimes meditation, I dig what he's saying there about meditation. If that's what he's saying, that meditation is what starts to happen when that happens, just pure existence or whatever.
Just existence aware of itself, not thinking of itself, aware of itself, and it's always there. Whilst eating, sleeping, fucking, pooping, it's just being in beingness. It's awareness being aware of its own fucking awareness. It's not being aware of something, it's awareness without the of. It's not logical, it can't be explained or written or chased or generated, but I promise you, it's a fucking thing. It is the fucking thing. But it can't be found in a book or a lecture or in a fucking social media video. It can only be an experience. It's the wakeful emptiness behind all things waking up within you. But the funny thing is that it was never fucking asleep. When you see it, you'll laugh at how crazy obvious it actually is. It's so close that we can't normally see it for the same reason that an eye cannot see itself. Seekers have been seeking this since time immemorial. This thing I'm pointing at is the thing. And it's absolutely attainable. I mean, all it is your actual true nature. You're a fluctuation in the field of singularity, a wave upon an all-pervasive sea of pure presence. It's just that motherfuckers are coming at it like it's out there somewhere, like it's something that can be defined by its attributes. It presents as emptiness because we don't have words that can encapsulate it.
My frustration here is that he's saying something like ridiculously profound, or at least he's suggesting something ridiculously profound. He like literally listed all the things there could be: science, religion, or story, belief, whatever he listed, and said this is the thing that they're getting at, and this is how you do it. The idea of somebody not giving that a second thought, it just frustrates me. It's like, really try to think about that. Maybe watch this a couple times.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I got to watch this a few times because I feel like he is saying something that's really important.
People would dismiss this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
People would be like, yeah. Like, and I was the type of person that would dismiss this when I would talk to Christians that would talk about a peace that passes all understanding. Yeah. I would be like, where does this peace occur? Is it in your body? Because that's your senses. Is it in your brain? Because that's your thoughts. I was the type of person that would do that when talking to I remember specifically talking to a Christian. They were telling me about this peace that passes all understanding that they get, right? Yeah. And then I'll tell you real quick, I'll reiterate, I've been saying it recently on this show, if a method I've found is, I have a real hard time with meditation, sitting down and letting the thoughts come forward and letting them go. My brain is very stubborn. So what I had to literally do was sit down for a long time and entertain every thought. Like, okay, let's think all the things I don't want to think. And it went from a process of resisting everything to what I call radical accepting everything. And then I got a glimpse of, oh God, it's actually pretty peaceful when you're not like actively believing in things and actively resisting things. You know, I think many people don't realize that's what they're doing. And I think this guy, what he's saying, could be a huge help to get in touch with that, the true nature, which, you know, is funny because when you're not, I get the sense that if you're not experiencing the true nature, you're going to have an idea about what that is rather than just the ability to experience it. Which again, it seems like you should watch this video a few times.
But the emptiness is awake, and you know, there really isn't an out there, at least not in the way we think there is. We chase our tails through belief, thoughts generating more thoughts about the original damn thought, and definitions and protocols and paradigms, practices and ceremonies, but the portal is within you, and it's always fucking open. It's the thinker that allows thought. It's the knower that knows shit. You are existence, aware that it exists in a temporary form you call me, an apparent self, defined by I like this shit, but I hate that shit, and I don't give a shit about that other shit. A fragile framework, a delicate but persistent bubble of attractions and aversions and neutralities, like a mathematical personality equation that colors and defines the size and shape of your bubble until it pops. So my advice to you is forget all this shit I've just said, because if you think you know what I'm talking about, then you already let your thoughts fuck it up. Remember that the scaffolding of thought called ego will co-opt, borrow, or steal any glimpse you get of something that threatens its purpose. This obscuring construct that binds the one and only true thing with self-serving, satiating, relativistic lies. So just remember the glimpse you had and just sort of relax into it. And if you didn't have one but you want to, then fucking keep at it. If that's your true aspiration, to do more than peek behind the curtain, then you will keep at it, to reach a state of relentless awareness. And if it's not, you won't. It's as simple as that. What's not simple is bypassing every belief you've ever had about yourself. What's not simple is leaving the safety of the pack's opinion and attachments and plowing into the wilderness landscape of your own mind. What's not simple is swimming upstream against millions of fucking years of evolution to break the egoic construct that nature has cleverly erected in order for you to reveal what you've always been. It's a very effective shroud, this ego thing, in place so that the wakeful emptiness, the singular beingness in the form of a universe, can keep breaking itself into amnesiac little meat bits that believe they are something separate from itself. Reality's awake, for fuck's sake. Alright, well, now you know what's up, so go do you and have a lovely day. Or a fucking existential crisis. Whatever you need to do. It's all within you. Toodaloo.
Yeah, that was awesome. I knew you were going to like that guy. I knew it. Yeah. Shawn Boland, guys, go check him out. He's got some awesome stuff, a lot to think about. Well, maybe not so.
Well, you know what?
You could go try the practices that he was saying there.
It's interesting that with, like, that guy seems very spiritually just knowing, you know? And it's just interesting the different characters that you can tell, like, if he's having these experiences of pure awareness, then you got to assume that he's getting a taste or an experience. Well, you don't got to assume. I'm assuming maybe he's had some experiences of like a diminished ego states, where, because your ego is like, you know, I'm starting to believe that ego is like just nothing but selfishness. The ego thinks it's got all the answers, but it couldn't see things any less clear, you know. And when you diminish the ego, and you enter into that kind of peaceful state of just pure awareness, right? But to go communicate with people, he's got to like put the ego mask back on. He's like, fucking shit and fuck this shit, you know? And it's just funny when you think about that like putting on the ego, and I'm going to go interact with the world from the place of the ego while having also experienced pure awareness.
Yeah.
I hope that made sense.
Yeah. No, it's good. I like this guy. I'm going to watch more of his stuff. But yeah, if you guys have any comments to add to what we just watched, let us see them. And if you like this episode, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share with a friend. And everybody, until next time, stay spiritual.
And follow this guy.